Join me as you and I and you take a journey to become better writers together and geek out.
Howdy ho, neighbors. You have the not ready for primetime players here, ready to prime time.
I'm always ready for prime time. I'm just not motivated.
Motivation is such a beautiful thing.
It is, especially when there's a storm that is approaching, revoking, white clouds in isolation. Hi, Shen.
Yes, it is. It's a full house today.
Yeah.
We have a lot of guests. We're going to be talking about a nice horror movie that our friend Rob is making, Rob Longo, and it's so far it's a lot of fun. So,
Man,
you know,
we're just jumping into it. Just going straight into it. I see.
Well, no, we'll see what happens. We'll probably show off. All I can remember to show off right now. I think most of the other campaigns have ended. Is actually Phil's tragedy campaign, which started a little while ago, and now let's see. I think it has 23 days to go. His Kickstarter
funded already, right?
Oh yeah, He's already funded. He funded in the first 2 hours.
Yeah, just like last time.
Yeah, he was killing it. That's great.
He's already doubled his money.
Nah, it's good.
Yeah, he's at 5,432, 132 backers, 23 days to go. He's in a good place. But as we like to say here on Bit and Apple, it's better to support as much as you can because the more money they have, the better things are.
Well, I think I have. Let me see.
So while Tony goes roaming off, what is tragedy, then, sir? What is tragedy?
It's a fantastic little comic about vigilante.
Got my books.
Running rampant. Hold on.
Got my books. I haven't read them yet, but I do got my book. I do have my books. So I've been traveling, but I wanted to 3. So if you do give it a Kickstarter, he will send them out to you. It's not like, you're gonna wait months and months for this stuff.
He's pretty good on that. He actually gets it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Very quick, actually. I got a Twitch notification. That's weird.
Yeah, stop doing naughty things on Twitch, Ralph. Stop trying to boost your scores. Stop trying to get more people to look at the channel, Ralph. Stop that. We don't want to be like other streamers.
Oh, hate on success.
You could get us up to 30K.
Rob into the Geek Coffee over here. Rob.
Hey guys,
how you doing? Welcome to the show. You've been on before. You know the
Thanks
details.
for having me again.
Thanks for returning.
So, Rob, why don't we just dive into this? Explain to the folks out there who you are, what you're doing, what's going on. Give them all the nitty-gritty of the stuff.
Sure. Rob Longo, owner and operator of 2121 Productions, film director, making my first horror film. This is actually, though, my 4th film, with distribution, direct-to-DVD, and Amazon streaming.
Nice. And how come you decided to go the horror way this time? Because I know you did the superhero thing.
I did the superhero thing first, but actually the first script I ever wrote was a 90-page horror movie called Slaughterhouse. But I wrote it and didn't think about budget or anything. And when it was done, and after a couple of revisions, I'm like, I can't afford to shoot this. I need something I can actually afford. So now we're come full circle. Now we're finally getting to the horror stuff.
And that's the way to go. And I can see you're having a lot of fun with this. And I have to admit, like, I like the fact that you're trying to do a horror verse, because I've seen some people try it and fail, but I feel like you're coming about it the right way, because you're coming about it from a place where, nobody, it's being built from the ground up. There you go.
Yeah, its initial idea was to always be like a cinematic horror universe. And I know like the whole universe thing is kind of overused at this point, but we learned a lot on our previous projects. And now this cinematic horror universe, really has a real location to it, a mythology built around it. and the world building is very rich, which will lead to all these movies being interconnected.
That all sounds great, and like because I've been dying to see what a horror verse would look like, and I know that they try to do it with the Universal monsters, but that thing just fell apart. And I was like, okay, you know, but I think it's because people have an idea with the Universal monsters of who they are, and then they tried to change the whole thing. At least that's my opinion.
I remember when they were talking about it, and then after a while, I said, "Hey, it already happened." I was like, "Really? It really happened?" I don't know. Just
they started with the Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they just went about it the wrong way.
That was not good. That movie was not good.
Put Universe in. They thought they just add Universe, and people would be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll keep watching these, even if they're not good."
Yeah.
I think if they would have just used the old Mummy movie and boosted it from there, they probably would have went in a good direction. You know, everybody likes Brendan Fraser. Come on. Yeah. That's a better universe.
I mean, they had the Scorpion King too. I mean, so they had him also. Strange.
So let me start throwing in the team here.
Sure.
Heather Drew, Casey Were.
Hey, also.
We got some more
Campino Studios. Peter's out there, but I'll throw him in anyway. And Aaron Newpower. There we go. Folks, welcome to the show. Why don't we start off by introducing ourselves? Let's start with Aaron. Go ahead. You start first.
Hi, I'm Erin Newpower. I play Anna, the wife of the husband. I just graduated with my master's in performing arts from SCAD in Savannah, Georgia. I moved home about 4 days ago, and I'm here filming this movie, and I'm so excited.
There you go. All right, Heather, you go.
Can I just say this was not planned, but I'm a huge fan.
You have Tragedy? Oh, dude, it's a great book, man.
Yep, and I have contributed to the Kickstarter, so everybody else please do so.
Yeah.
To introduce myself. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because nobody believes me. You see, you will get your books. You see,
they're putting this at every Comic-Con, and I picked up my copy. This is a special version too. This is like the variants. I don't know if you can see, but it's a very.
Oh yeah, that's one of the beautiful ones.
Yeah,
even though there's a lot of beautiful covers. Yeah, I think you muted yourself, hon.
Oh,
there you go.
I did. So I was screaming. It's a variant.
It's a sick variant too. That's a good one.
All right, go ahead, Heather. Introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm Heather Drew. I'm playing Carolina or Carolina, however you prefer to say it. And I am the cousin of Erin's character. I've been an actress for like 12 years now, so doing lots of shorts. I started in horror because I love horror. The portion that I'm kind of in this movie is a little more dramatic, which is really, really cool. So I get to play on that. And Erin is just so good, and Rob's script is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it.
I have to agree. That first filming was amazing, great energy, beautiful. It was beautiful to see on my own.
You know, you have a good thing when extras off camera are tearing up during dialogue.
That's true. And they were.
I felt so bad. We looked over. Heather and I looked over. We were like, no. We felt guilty.
We're like, don't cry. No, it's just pretend. But it's a good thing.
That is a good thing. All right, our next guest will be Casey. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm Casey Weir. I recently graduated from makeup designery in New York City. It was a makeup FX school, so I got to do makeup and like monster designing, lab work for FX stuff, which is my favorite part. So this is my first full-length movie, which is very exciting. And of course, it's a horror movie, which is my all-time favorite genre. Love horror. Super excited. And I've worked really closely with Rob and Eva to make the monster, and we made some custom-made foam latex prosthetics, and I think it's looking really cool.
All right, I agree. I've seen a little bit of it, and I think it is looking really cool. All right, Peter, go ahead.
All right. Cool. Thank you for having me. I'm Peter Kontsevich. I went to school for theater at City College. I graduated about a year and a half ago now, I want to say. COVID made me kind of lose track of time. But this is going to be my first feature film. I've only ever done I mostly do theater work and I've done short films before, but I'm really excited to do this. I always love doing horror and I like doing something that challenges me because right now I'm working on a play where I play a Munchausen's by proxy victim.
Ooh.
So it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting doing both roles at the same time, the juxtaposition between an abuser and the abuse victim. I play the husband to Anna in this film.
The titular husband.
Yes.
I have a feeling that bad things are coming your way.
I do too.
Our working log line right now is the husband. We all know he's a monster, but the monster that arises to protect her is far greater. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. And of course, I love that whole play on things, so who's the real monster? What's going on? There's so many questions there that, I can't wait to see how Rob goes and does, and the way you guys all bring it to life. We have one more guest here. Go right ahead, Gambino Studios.
Hey guys, my name is Anthony Gambino. I'm an illustrator and a graphic designer, and I'm working with Rob on some, I guess you could say, behind the scenes stuff. He's put me to work pretty quickly, and I'm having a blast doing it. And congratulations to all the actors here. A lot of first feature films. That's really cool. I'm excited to see more. And Casey, I saw some of your work, and I was geeking out for a little while with Rob. So excellent job. It's so exciting to see all this stuff. This is my first time working on a movie or anything outside of comics, pretty much. So I'm super excited and really happy to meet you all. And thank you for having us on.
Oh, most definitely. So, what's the secret back stuff that he's working on? Can either one of you say something?
Sure.
I'll piggyback off of Rob's stuff. I'll wait till I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Say it. That way I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, he'll be the first one to curse.
So this whole movie kind of got launched by my muse in my life, who said to me, "It's no more writing stuff in notebooks and ideas on Post-its. It's time to just bring them to life." And she drew a sketch of this creature, from an idea that we had. And I don't know if you can bring it up, Ralph, that first initial sketch.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. I'll bring it up.
And she made this really great sketch and a few others of it. And as soon as I saw it, I was inspired. I sat down at the keyboard, started out on the first draft, and before I knew it, I had, 90-minute feature film in front of me. And from there, I got introduced to Anthony through a business network. And I was like, I need this creature done. And he's like, yeah, I do this thing called ink wash. And he showed me, and I absolutely fell in love with his work immediately. I'm like, finally, this is like from my mind to the paper, exactly how I've seen it. To go from that initial sketch all the way to what Anthony's doing now for us is amazing, and bringing it to life, both merchandise-wise and, more importantly, within the cinematic universe itself, because he's tying all the features together from this very first movie. There'll be hints of the upcoming movies within the things that you see here that he's working on.
Oh, that sounds all great. I was wondering. I was like, okay, so what's he working on? So, what do you want to add to that without getting in trouble, I guess?
I don't think I can add too much, because if I say what I'm working on, Rob didn't say what I'm working on, so I won't say that. But I did do a drawing based off of the initial sketch that you're gonna show, and based off of the costuming that I saw and Casey's awesome work. This is kind of my first professional work with the ink wash, So I'm very grateful that Rob kind of took a chance on me with that. I think it's paying off though. We're getting some good results, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
I saw it. I think it looks amazing.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, thank you.
And since my computer is not cooperating,
If it's just an image, you could send it my way to post it up if you need, Ralph.
Okay.
I can add something that has nothing to do with the movie, but Heather, I see the Liber Mejo poster in the background, and he's one of my biggest influences. So I started doing ink wash and grayscale stuff like when I saw his work when I was starting college. My cousin just got me the Art of Liber Mejo book, so it's just funny that it's there. But I'm just trying to keep the conversation going.
Oh no, you're doing a great job. Don't worry about it.
We assemble the cast and crew, and people behind the scenes that, it might be their first time or just graduated or whatever. But like, when they don't have the experience, they have that passion and drive to get that experience and to do the best job possible right off of the gate because of this chance. And I did it this way because this is also my first horror movie. So let's all, start this race together, on equal terms and just go for it. So that's why we're all here together today.
Definitely, and like I said, the energy you guys have is just amazing. It was great watching it in person, and you can even feel it here in the room.
In your room only, or in all the rooms?
We're in this room here, and then the room of the people's out there. And let me ask you, Casey, I've seen a little bit of what you've worked on, and I have to say it's amazing, what you're putting together. Was it hard to like bring the whole thing to life?
Yeah, it was a very long process. We spent probably about 2 months just designing the creature. So I would make up a sketch, send it to them. We would have a meeting, talk about it. I did a few rough sculpts of the prosthetics so we could like get an idea for the shaping and stuff. And then, of course, the whole process of we had to life cast the actress who's playing her. And then I had to make like molds of that and sculpt the prosthetic on that, make a mold of that, and then finally make the prosthetic. So it was a long process, but I love it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was like weekly meetings for 2 months and changes and back and forth and just the evolution of it. Because like, you have an idea in your mind what you want it to look like, but then as you see it, how it's going to appear on film and in person, it evolves. And Casey was wonderful and super patient with us to get it to where it is now, where we love it. So.
What is the length of the shoot, if you don't mind saying?
Yeah, so in the past, I've just scheduled a shoot. Like, let's shoot this scene this Saturday, and let's shoot this scene next Sunday. This one has been, trying to get. Yep, that's the original sketch from Eva that inspired the whole thing, and like a lot of the elements have remained. The armor chest piece there over her heart, the big, teethy jaws and everything. The dress, even, that we had custom made by our friend Chrissy.
Yo, that's scary. That's scary, man.
So even that alone,
3 nightmares, man. 3 nightmares, man. That's scary.
That's what we want to do: deliver entertainment and nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like you got something here, and like I was just saying, I've seen a little bit of what Casey's done, and yeah, I think some people are gonna have some nightmares.
That's the goal.
Go ahead, Rob. Continue.
So Casey, super patient with us, and it's just amazing to be able to work with people who, can help you get to that vision. And then after that step was working with Anthony, to get it to where we wanted the ink wash for possible merchandise opportunities and, even props within the movie itself. So
I think you've been thinking about the whole process of the whole, everything in one shot.
Yeah. And then having, Heather and Aaron and Peter on board is wonderful. I mean, we shot a scene recently Tuesday night, and Heather and Aaron knocked it out of the park. Let me tell you, but I've been in the business 16 years now. The industry average is about 8 pages of dialogue you can film in 8 to 12 hours. These two, though, they got together, I guess, online. They ran lines together. They memorized the 9 pages. And when it was time to roll, it was like, 5 different lighting setups, 5 different angles, and we got it all in like 3.5 hours. It was an amazing effort, ladies, and I am still impressed and still gushing about the entire experience with you guys.
It was amazing to watch, I have to say.
Round of applause for them. And I've watched the footage.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I was gonna say, you must be like even more happy because you must have watched the footage and gone, dude.
Well, going into it, and Heather and I have worked together on a few other things before. And she's like, "This is dense. This is 9 pages." And I gave it to a lot of people to read, and I'm like, pay attention to the cafe scene. Is it too long? Is it drag on? No, it's like drama, intense, and extras cried on set while it was being filmed. So we got some magic going on here.
So Rob, for our audience,
there you go.
Oh, I was saying that I was laughing because I was like, you want to do this on the first day for the first scene? You want to do the 9-page scene first? You want to start with?
Well, it looks like you picked the right one because they got the excitement, the flow, everything going. So you were gonna say, Tony?
Oh no!
For our audience, Ralph, what was the opportunity where you got to watch them film? What was that about?
Where I got to what?
Oh, okay.
For Rob, yeah,
I am actually helping Rob out with this project, and I'm happy he brought me on board with the crew, and I'm having fun seeing this come to life from the from the script up from the shooting up from everything, and it's always a beautiful process to watch. So I'm actually getting to see it come together.
Cool. So you're actually a guest as well.
You're guesting your own show, Rob.
I'm guesting my own show.
Nat, take over.
All right. No more late nights with Writ and Writ. Welcome to the Nat Power Hour, where we're just going to talk about weeb things. So, Tony, can we get much higher? Can we get much higher?
All right. So, Heather,
someone understands.
Oh man.
Heather, you're going to add something?
The One Piece is real.
The One Piece is real.
I knew somebody else was going to jump in.
We are.
I want to know what attracted everyone to the project, from Heather to Aaron to Anthony to Peter to Casey. What brought you on board where you're like, okay, I'm gonna put some serious time and effort into this?
That's a good question, Rob.
Go ahead, Heather. You go first.
Me?
Yeah, you're shaking your head. You have an answer, I know.
Okay. What I want to say first, I met Rob 10 years ago at a Comic-Con, and I auditioned for him at Comic-Con. So when he called me, we had done some projects together, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" And it was great because I read the script and I'm like, "It's a bit dramatic. This is interesting. This is a different take." And then I auditioned for it and luckily got it. And then I read the script and I met Aaron and I was like, "Oh, I'm in. This is good. Let's work on this." So I think it was just there were many facets to it. And I was like, I want to work with Rob. I haven't seen him in years. So I read it. I liked it. I met with Aaron and when we practiced and I was like, this is going to be something. This is going to be good. So that's my take.
That's exactly what happened. And I can feel the energy on it. Aaron, go ahead. You follow that up.
Yeah, no, Rob and I connected through LinkedIn, of all places. We went to Seton Hall University, so we're both alumni. I forget who connected with who first, but I sent over my stuff, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing a horror film. Send in your stuff." And I didn't hear anything for a while, and then I got this message, and he was like, "Send me a monologue, send me a tape," and I was like, "Great!" and kept refreshing my email. I was so excited. I read the script. I loved it. I thought just the lore of it all is really, really interesting, and a lot of great themes to talk about that are really important. And when I got there on set and started working with Heather, I was like, this is great. It's really, I'm so excited to keep going with this. It's awesome.
That sounds cool. I think one of the best things about horror is when it's actually about social commentary, when you can get that in there. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Horror's gotta have that subtext in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a deeper story along with the thrills that you want. So I think
Exactly.
the dual layer, I forgot to add that, but thank you for bringing that up. I think that was something that drew me as well.
Because that topic is scary in itself, and it's definitely a challenge, I think, as an actor to be able to portray this. So I'm excited. I'm happy to work with such awesome people that made me feel super comfortable on set as well.
I have to admit, because one of the things you're already feeling, even from that scene that we were there doing on Tuesday, there's the horror seems to be more about the fact what's the husband gonna do. You start feeling the thrill is over here, and you're like, okay, I know there's a monster in this movie, but
I know, you're like, when's it coming? Because the husband seems to be the worst.
Exactly.
Oh, just
all right.
wait.
So if we're going to talk about the husband, Peter, go ahead, jump in.
All right, so there's a couple of things. So one, I want to get more film experience, and I found out about, I think it's called New York Film Database, this website, and that's how I found the husband and Rob, and I applied to it. And like Aaron, I heard back about like like a couple of months later, and I was, super stoked because as I'm an up and coming young actor, I need that experience, and I'm a sucker for horror. My first play that I ever did was Frankenstein, and then it was Jekyll and Hyde. And I've always been I grew up doing like horrors and thrillers and things like that. There's an Edgar Allan Poe show I did. So like, I'm always drawn to roles like this, and I'm always drawn to the bad guys because there's just a lot of layers to peel back. And I always love playing the grimy pieces of expletive, so yeah.
Actors always say that they love playing the villains more than the heroes. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I have to apologize.
It seems more fun,
I have to apologize to Peter because we really put him through the ringer audition-wise.
Oh, it's okay.
We stopped for a while because, between Eva, Casey, and I watching all the auditions, we had a lot of people apply for the role of the husband, and it was a lot of quality people, I have to say. And, we had Peter go back and redo it with a little direction and stuff, and he went out at the end. He was the best one out of I think 32 people, actors applied just to be the husband. So
cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Peter, you just finished saying before that, you're playing both sides of the coin. And that sounds so interesting, especially because, there's such different ends of the spectrum. How do you feel? How's this making you feel? Because you have to be in a certain place because this is like a tug of war here.
Well, I won't lie, definitely a little stressed, but it's like a good stress, because I feel like when you choose this field and you want to be an actor, you have to get used to sometimes doing two things at the same time, and they're two totally different archetypes, like two different types of people. But I love that challenge. Like last year when theater opened back up, we come out of lockdown, I had done Julius Caesar, I played Cassius, and then I did Elephant Man at the same time. I was like, you know what, let me just do two difficult shows. I love that chaos. I love to challenge myself. And I think that for me, what kind of helps, because I'm coming from Long Island over to the filming location, so those drives really help you, long drives really help you decompress. So I'm not, terribly worried about the worlds mixing together. It's a matter of knowing yourself, leaving your stuff at the door when you're on set. Then when you leave, get back into the mindset, you got to go somewhere else and do another thing, So it's thrilling, it's stressful, it's exciting. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing too, because you're doing both ends of the spectrum. I feel like it actually helps you understand the character, both characters, even better.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see Peter and Aaron on screen together.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see them both acting with each other. Yeah. Speaking of monsters, so Casey, you go along and answer Rob's question. Go ahead.
Sure. It's my dream to make monsters and gore and scare people. So I'm just so thrilled to be part of it. But the connection that I had to the project was I was a barista at Rob's favorite coffee shop. So that's how I heard about the job.
I feel like Rob is doing a Final Fantasy type of thing here, where he's gathering his party to go off to do an epic battle on a quest.
That's what filmmaking is. It's casting through. It's getting together the best party you can to go adventuring in this crazy quest to make a movie.
And it's a crazy quest to make a movie.
At the coffee place, Cedar Beans, a coffee joint in Cedar Grove, I was writing the script a lot there, and eventually people were asking me, "Oh, what are you doing? Writing a script, a horror movie, blah blah blah." And they're like, "Oh, Casey? She's just graduating from makeup school and special effects and everything in the city. You should talk to her." And I didn't even realize it was Casey. I was like, "Oh," and we met. I'm like, "Oh, all right, great." The smallest world possible, and it worked out great so far. Very happy.
So now, Gambino, how do you fall into this party?
Well, speaking of small worlds, my connection to this whole project is I was sitting at home working, minding my own business, and I got a random email from a random dude who I never heard of, and he was asking for some stuff for a movie project. And he mentioned my old neighbor when I lived with my parents, and it took a while for things to connect on who this person was. But then I read his email, and he was asking for something for a horror movie, maybe a movie poster, maybe some stuff for inside the DVDs. Like all of you, I'm a huge horror fan too, and that's what I love to do with my illustration work. And I have a huge appreciation and admiration for all you actors, because I'm a very bashful person most of the time. But I love acting, or at least the concept of it, and that's one of my favorite things to put into my work and into my storytelling. And in my opinion, there's not really a better avenue to do that than horror stories. So this was definitely a no-brainer. My kind of introduction into the illustration world was back in 2020. I didn't have any comic art that I was really happy with, but I had a lot of singular pieces, and it was all horror-based. I did a bunch of the Universal monsters for Inktober. So I just put a sketchbook together, and I crowdfunded it, and I met a lot of awesome people. And yeah, I mean, I've been looking for different ways to branch out, and this was the absolute perfect opportunity, and I'm super excited, and I hope to see some stuff being filmed, because I've always wanted to see what it's like on set, and hopefully get the chance to do some production work, maybe, Rob, along the way, concept art.
All you have to tell me is that kind of work.
I'm stoked. I'm putting you on the spot, Rob, because I want to do it.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, good.
It's Rob, I know we were talking in the car, speaking of Final Fantasy, speaking of D&D world creation. I know that when we were in the car, we were talking about the fact that one of the things that helps you is the fact that you are a DM and you've created worlds for people to play in. And I feel like this feels like you've come and gone, all right, I have a story to tell you guys. I'm going to DM it to you. I'm going to tell you the story. And I feel like this is how you're bringing this together.
We're really getting.
Was that Final Fantasy 15 when they're in the car on that road trip to the wedding?
Pretty much it was. It was me, Rob.
We don't talk about that one. We don't talk about that one. We don't talk about K-pop band the movie.
Go ahead, Rob.
Now we're gonna geek out here. I mean, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games since I was 11. And now I'm 51, so it's 40 years of rolling dice and pushing little plastic miniatures across, hexagon maps and stuff. But the bottom line of it is it gives you an amazing skill set to make movies. Your scripts are your modules and scenarios that you run the player characters through. The player characters are just actors doing improv to, you know, a setting that you create for them and a problem that you face with them. And a dungeon master is just a director. And that's why you see so much, you know, cross-pollination between Dungeons and Dragons players and people in Hollywood, you know, from the Russo brothers to Vin Diesel, you know, to Steve Colbert, you know, they all are avid players to this day, you know, because it's a great way to hone your craft per se. And I even think it does help in assembling, you know, a very workable party, both cast and crew wise. You know, I mean, Heather and Aaron are cousins in the movie, and you believe it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Casey is, you know, an absolute fighter warrior trudging through 2 months of pre-production to get the creature the way we're all happy and everything. You know, Anthony probably has to leave soon because he has to finish some sketches still for me.
I think I'm calling out sick tomorrow to finish, if I'm being quite honest.
He said he's not feeling well right now. That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely, you know, that. And it helps in the script writing, you know, from the outline to the index cards to writing each scene to the index card, so you're never looking at a blank page on your computer. You know, you always sit down.
Anthony, you might. Sorry.
No,
Anthony, you might want to cough a little bit because your boss might watch this tomorrow. You might want to.
Go ahead, Rob.
He might
fire me.
Between Anthony and I, and I'm going to give him so much work, he's going to quit that job.
I might have to.
Great.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because I was just thinking, if we, you know, I'm not sure how much the rest of you know about D&D or fantasy or RPGs. Who do you think you are in this party?
Like class wise?
Yeah.
Who everyone is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm the dice.
Anyone who could start with this because, you know, I feel like this is like a personal thing.
You're
Rob can probably say for which one
as players if they talk too knowledgeable of it.
I'm not going to pretend to know anything about it, so Rob can pick whoever I am.
Yeah, not qualified to answer.
All right, so Rob, if you were to pick a role,
I'll be the Cavalier because he was awesome in the cartoon. I'm sure he's a great character.
I know you were gonna go with 80 Dungeons and Dragons.
I'll be the Cavalier. He's my favorite character. So anybody who's annoying or whatever the show, that's who I like. You know?
Is there a scribe in the game?
You can be a scribe,
or someone who stays in a cave. I'm like a dragon's friend or something.
Anthony is the stoic ranger.
Okay,
you know,
I can see that. He's
the Aragorn, you know, first Fellowship of the Rings kind of movie.
That I understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you know, Aaron is probably like a cleric, like very healing, comes on set, you know, very friendly, introduced herself to everyone, you know, definitely helped the vibe of the whole set. You know, Heather is like a paladin. She will crusade for whatever she's working on, you know.
Okay, I was gonna say that. I literally was on D&D Beyond and just making sure that I was like reading the description right, being like, I think I'm a paladin. I'm a paladin because I'm like, this is right. You need to do this because this is the honorable right thing to do.
Yeah, and Casey is, you know, a high level fighter. You know, she might have just graduated, but I mean, I would never have guessed unless she had told me. But you know, I thought she was like level 20. You know, master crafter here, you know, hammering out, you know, crazy ideas from our brain and from the one sketch to this. So definitely. And Peter, we know you are the assassin rogue that's just going to slay us all with your performance as the husband. I pre-applaud you already, sir. Well done.
Nice.
I can see it. I can see the roles you've picked. Oh man, and again, you feel the camaraderie, you feel the energy in this project, and it's just like breathtaking.
I mean, you know, the attitude on set is contagious. So if you don't have like a energetic, happy set, you're not going to get any good work from anyone, cast or crew. You know, you got to treat your crew well. You got to treat your cast well. You got to feed everybody. Make sure everyone gets along and is prepared. And have a plan and execute it. Because people will follow a good plan and a good idea. But if you don't have a good plan or idea, it's not going to go anywhere.
I think we'll do this. I think we'll do that. But you're right. You need a good captain of the ship in order to get everybody to where they're going to go. And then if you have a good crew, that makes it even better.
May I add that I've worked on a couple projects with him, and he's very good at bringing people who are enthused and good at their jobs and just great energy. So you're very, very good at who you select.
Oh, I completely agree.
I think it's one of the best skills that a director can have. Because I feel totally blessed. I feel like, this project, of course, totally blessed with all of you. And previous ones, we just always seem to luck out with dedicated cast, dedicated crew. The funniest thing I think is in the previous one in Vixens, that the girls who are superheroes, the actresses that were superheroes, all got along like sisters, and they were playing sisters, and some of them still remain friends to this day. And the actresses that were villains, they all gelled, and some of them remain friends today. But the heroes and villain actresses did not like each other. So I'm waiting to see Peter and Aaron, I know I said it already, on screen to see what that chemistry is like. Because I've seen Heather and Aaron, getting along like cousins and everything. Like they've known each other for all their lives since they were kids. Cannot wait to see the Aaron-Peter dynamic that, we saw many auditions for.
So Vixens was a documentary then?
Vixens was fantastic.
For the record, I didn't hate anybody. That's my last comment that I'll say, but I didn't.
Oh, there goes the paladin.
She's being herself. Okay.
Good. Everything's good.
It's such a thin line between love and hate, So.
That is true. You got a really good project going here. I can't wait to see where you go with it. Horror is always a fantastic little thing, especially I think you feel like you picked the right time period for this, because we're moving right into October. It just feels like this is the moment where this should be done, and especially since Halloween is right around the corner.
This is definitely the moment for it to be done. It's time to shoot some horror, because it's coming up in October, which then means it'll be released next year in time for Halloween. Sure. And that's very important.
That's the other funny thing. A lot of people think that stuff happens so quickly when you're working on these things, but no. Sometimes you're filming something to be released a year or 2 years from now, and that's always amazing to me, because it doesn't look, the audience picks up like, oh, that didn't take that much, or it didn't take that long. And I feel like you were giving a glimpse behind the scenes in what you were saying there, where you have the 8 pages, and the girls did a fantastic job, going through that in 3 hours, when it usually takes much more time than that.
Yeah, I think if this was 16 years ago and Heather saw this script, she'd be like, "There's no way we're going to do that." She would have been right for sure. But 16 years later, we got it done. Well done. But it's funny because it's also this is ambitious as heck, not just doing one movie that's ambitious on its own, but doing, a whole bunch of interconnected movies that make sense and are hopefully very good horror-wise is super ambitious and hard to not get sidetracked. I mean, we had a meeting today, and there was already talk about the sequel to The Husband too. And a lot of details started to come out and get ironed out in the main storyline. I'm like, I had to resist going home and start the script. But no, put the keyboard down. Other things to do.
That brings me back to the car in our conversation, because I can tell that you are in a different place with this. You're not just here with this project and The Husband. You're looking at pieces that go and come together, and they're all forming into something. Well, this character over here goes over here, and this happens over here. And when you were telling me that, I'm like, oh, you got something really laid out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we only had 9 pages to shoot Tuesday, so we had an actress come who's going to be in second or third movie going forward, and she had lines in this movie. Like, let's add another scene to this. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's smiling. Who's there? When I heard that, nobody's smiling in that moment. But we got it.
It's just funny. Yeah, another scene.
The actress is coming, and she has lines.
But I really like how you're crafting it, and it's funny because again it brings it back to the whole D&D thing, because I can see the DM going, all right, so this is happening, and I can see that this character leads to that character, and that character leads to that character, and this character over here that nobody's paying attention to, it's so important, but nobody's paying attention to them. You know, and as you know in D&D, what happens is that nobody pays attention to that character, and like, if you guys would have paid attention to that.
Ralph, it's like what you got going on your board back there.
Not everyone focuses on the false Hydra, Ralph. Mostly because we're not allowed to.
Go ahead, Ralph.
No,
yo, you see the light is on the corgi again?
All right, so I'm going to explain to you guys. We
we don't need to keep it on. Just
here,
kill
and
it
they
off
decided
already.
to joke with me and throw a corgi in there, and somebody liked the corgi and ran with it, and now the corgi is this brave hero who they want dead, but they can't.
Oh man!
So that's what's going on over there. So now they got this character who wasn't important in the beginning, and now all of a sudden he's this heroic corgi character, and they're all like, "Ralph, it was a joke. We didn't want that corgi."
He always butchers this because he started that project when the Cowboy Bebop came out for Netflix, and so as a joke, we all said remake Cowboy Bebop, and we kept giving him prompts related to Cowboy Bebop, and he threw out everything except the corgi.
Hey, you guys threw it in there, so it's in there. And you know, if you're lucky, the corgi will die a heroic death, which I know you guys don't want anyway.
Listen, I know last time I recorded, there was a light shining on that corgi, and now back a couple of weeks, 3 weeks later, look at that light shining on that corgi again, man. It's a sign, man.
Next time we do it, let's write a story together. Don't do it.
Walk into the light.
So, guys, you're on this project. You guys are having fun. What do you see? What's your like ultimate goal here for the husband on your part? Anyone start?
I'll start. I think overall, you know, it's horror. It's there's monsters and everything, but I think overall there's a great topic underneath and a great story to tell. And I think all of us as actors just want to tell a truthful story. And I thought that was a great testament to our scene on Tuesday. I think just reacting to Heather and her news that she has to share in the scene and everything, I think going forward, all I want is just to continue that momentum of truth and listening to the other person. And I think overall that's what's going to make the film and make these scenes relatable and believable.
Anyone else? I'm going to throw you in there, Heather, because...
Peter can go. Let Peter go.
Peter wants to go. Peter can go if he wants to go.
I'll go.
Okay.
I didn't want to be rude, you know, if someone else wanted to go. It was very akin to what Aaron was just saying. Every time I'm working on a play, I mean, in this case, a film, I want to go there, make sure I'm doing my job. Like, my goal is to be this, like, I was just about to curse, this just really jerky, evil, grimy kind of guy, but he's right, but he's put together, you know. So it's interesting. Like, my goal is always to get the mission done and to check all the boxes and to take the character beyond the page, you know, beyond myself, and just do something wild with it. But also, it's a collaborative effort, and part of why I love doing what I do is you get to work with so many people who, you know, go into this field for different reasons, but we're all there to entertain. And of course, you know, horror, you want to be able to deliver scares, and you want to give that genuine, like, emotion. Like, you want people to be scared or cry or feel something in a good way. But yeah.
Very good.
I can add my little part, I guess. I'm just really excited to be in a different kind of avenue with my work, and I always loved being in art school, especially when I got my master's. We were a super tight knit group, and we got really close. We still talk all the time. We helped each other a lot. We became like a little family, and being an illustrator, a freelancer, it can be kind of reclusive. So I'm looking forward to a new opportunity to kind of be in that learning community again, and to hone my storytelling skills and meet new people and learn from all these people, from doing something that's kind of in the same vein as what I do, but on a different level and in a different medium. So I'm really excited to hopefully meet all you guys in person soon and just tell some badass stories.
Exactly. Sounds good to me. All right, Heather.
I was going to say, my hope for this movie is that it's something that I want to watch. And I love horror movies, and I love the heart of this movie beyond just the scares. So, yeah, I want to watch it and forget that I'm in it because I don't like to watch myself, but just watch the story unfold and watch the realness of how everybody brings it to life.
Rob?
Oh, man. I'm thinking about 10 years from now, when we all get together again to make our third or fourth movie together after we've all had insane success. Casey's got her own monster making factory going. Heather, Aaron, and Peter have accepted awards and, can ask whatever rate they want for their work, it's well deserved, and Anthony, doesn't even have time to do jobs for me anymore because he's tired already.
I'll be making sketches for Casey.
Yeah, for one more, just for the fun of it, because we love making movies together.
You do commissions? I want some art.
He's busy. He's booked, Heather.
Yeah, Rob's keeping me booked for a while.
Uh-oh. Heather's like, damn it.
Queue up.
In time.
All right, Casey, your turn.
My goal is really to scare people, and I want people to have fun watching it. And I want people to get very interested in the lore so we can keep it rolling and make some more movies.
Great answer.
That's a great answer, yeah.
Have some time to think about it.
Yeah, and she says it there. The lore of this is what's making it so fantastic to me. I know bits and pieces from talking to Rob, and you guys really need to watch this movie when it comes out because it's gonna start something, and you guys are gonna fall in love with it. If you love D&D, this is definitely completely up your alley, which is funny to say because I know some people go horror in D&D, but I love horror in D&D. It's one of the most fantastic aspects of storytelling because it's always interesting to see how your players are going to react to the horrific. And that's exactly what this is. It's putting all these people there and then going, how are they going to react to this? What's going to happen next? And that's exactly what's happening. You're going to want to see this and see what happens next. That's my 2 cents.
I'll take it.
All right, folks, I see we're at the top of the hour or getting near the hour there. So what we'll do now is we're going to do shameless plugging. So you guys will get a chance to tell them who you are, where they can find you, and all the beautiful nitty-gritty stuff of being who we are. And anybody can start.
I'll go. Robert Longo, 2121 Productions. You can find some of my work on Amazon still. And I hope you guys all join us for our first foray in the cinematic horror universe called The Grove, and the first installment of it, The Husband. Go ahead. Shameless plug here.
Come on.
Actors, go. Oh, me? Oh.
Hi.
Go, Aaron.
Aaron Newpower. You can find me at aaronnewpower.com. This is actually my second feature I'm doing this year. I have another one coming out called Drum Bomb. I am super pregnant in it. It's very funny. It is a comedy. So check that out on Amazon and some other platforms coming out later this year. And then I can't wait for this to come out next year and scare a bunch of people. Heck yeah.
Peter, you want to go?
I'll go. All right, Peter Koncevich. You can find me on Instagram, Peter Koncevich, YouTube, Peter Koncevich. Basically, Peter Koncevich everywhere. Other than the film, right now I'm working on. I was talking about it briefly earlier, but The Orphans. It's going up in October, beginning of October. Hardscrabble Theater, Long Island. If anybody wants to come down. But yeah, very excited to get this going.
Mine's my Instagram is at Casey Weir. That has all my FX stuff. Website's still in progress, and I also have some vintage porcelain dolls that I modify to be spooky. At Demon Devil.
Oh, that already got me. Look at my. You said porcelain dolls, and I'm like, ah.
Are those available?
Oh man. Did you play the last Resident Evil? There's a scene with the scene with like little dolls is the scariest thing ever, man.
No, I haven't seen
that.
You gotta check it out.
Forget it, man. That's like the worst part.
I love Resident Evil, so I'll definitely.
Yeah, there's a whole scene with like these little puppets. Oh my god.
Sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
All right, Heather.
Yeah, sure, I'll go. So you can find me at heatherdrewactress.com, just like it says over here, just no spaces. Someone else took heatherdrew.com, so that's what I got. And I have 3 shorts that are in festivals right now, I think. Matched Visitation, Identity Check, and Misunderstood Monster, which is still kind of at the end of its run. And I have a new one that I acted in and co-produced called Follower, which is coming out soon. I'm not going to say who I did that with because they're announcing it like next week, but it's a fun thing that I just acted in. And that's my plug. If you need an actress, I have fun working and I'm on time and I know my lines. That's it.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks, guys.
I'm at Gambino Studio on Instagram and Twitter, and GambinoStudio.com. I also have my first graphic novel that's out now, or it's in demand on Indiegogo, called Vigilant Fury. That is written by Julius Freeman, who is an indie writer, awesome dude. And as soon as Rob gives me the okay, I'll be posting all the stuff that I'm working on for the movie. So I'm super excited.
Beautiful crew, a lot of people running together. This sounds really nice, guys, and I'm hoping much success to you guys. And I can't wait to enjoy the fun, because this thing, if Tuesday's any indication, and the hangout today is any indication, this is just going to be a party. Yeah, like D&D, a party. Yeah, I'm a geek. No
shame.
I think we have one thing that I forgot to mention. Let's see. I think Shadow Rabbit sent it to me over here on the side.
Yep.
Share screen. And that is Rabbit's Badass Song. It's on Kickstarter right now. It's at $900. 26 backers, 28 days to go. So there's still plenty of time. But let's get this project funded, and then let's get as much money to the project as possible. If anything, let's play the video here and see what we have.
Hey guys, Chris Elton here. Back to bring another exciting episode of Rabbit's Badass Song, Issue 3. After Rabbit and Bunny's blood-soaked, revenge-driven return to Liefeld, Mississippi, they're cornered by Judge Tyler and remaining good boys. Tensions are high, chainsaws are revving, and the body count's rising. With new reveals on the horizon, we begin to learn more about Rabbit's past and what lies ahead in the goriest issue yet. We've already begun production on issue 3, but we need your help in getting it finished. Thanks for checking us out. And if you can't back us, just share us out, spread the word.
And that is very important, to share the word. I don't think you guys understand how much sharing something will help out so many people. If you can't support it because, right now you don't have the funds, it's really important to share out the project because, hey, who knows? Maybe that friend of yours might be able to be the one that can put some money into it or support the project. Just like this thing here. Share the video. Let people know the husband is coming. That way when it comes out, you can all go and get scared together. I think that's it back here on my end. I guess I can show the video to Tragedy, which I didn't do before. And
thanks for having us and all that fun stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll give you a chance for that in a minute.
Always feel free to come in and just ruin anything that is planned, because usually there's nothing planned.
I wish that was the case. All right, here we go. Tragedy 4. There you have it, folks. That is Tragedy. They are at 5,432, 132 backers, 23 days to go. Do yourselves a favor. This is an amazing project with an amazing story. And as you can see, the art is just incredible. So check them out. Do yourself a favor. Support it. Support all these guys, because everybody's trying their best to get their dreams out there. And that's what's important. And like we like to say here on the Bitten Apple, the best way to rise is to rise together. If we can raise each other up, we will get somewhere and faster. So, Rob, anything to say before we go? Anyone can say anything. This is the last word.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like a little more to say.
The One Piece is real.
Thank you.
The One Piece.
One Piece.
Oh my God.
I got the song video on right now.
Yo, let's go, bro.
Like Rob,
All right, folks. We'll do what I always do here at the end of the show. I'll press the button, and where it stops.